Hello again, everybody. My name is Joe, and this is the Joe is Hungry channel, where today Burger King has a new holiday menu lineup for Halloween, where they dye the bread a different color. We're gonna bring it back to the studio, give it a good going through, issue a reasonable score right here within the city limits of Fairmount, Georgia. Before I get started, we need to do the ever popular birthday shout outs. Justin, your support is much appreciated, and I want to wish you a very happy birthday. Maddie, I want to wish you a very special belated happy birthday and thank you for your support. Cole, Garrett, Ashton, happy birthday and thank you all for your support. Jason, Gabby, and Luke, Hazim, Cody, and Jameson, I want to wish you all a very special hungry happy birthday. With that business out of the way, Burger King's new monster menu lineup consists of the Jack-O-Lantern Whopper, which is what we're doing today, Vampire Nuggets, Mummy Mozzarella Fries, and the Franken-Candy Sundae. The Jack-O-Lantern Whopper is constructed with 1 Whopper beef patty, 1 slice of American cheese, approximately 2 slices of bacon, only Burger King knows, more on that later, mayonnaise, lettuce, and sliced tomato, onions, pickles, and ketchup on a festive orange-colored bun with black sesame seeds. And according to Burger King, colors come from natural spices, and if you're really curious, it's mostly just paprika. Each Jack-A-Burger will aid in your diet profile with 890 calories, challenge your renal function with 1900 milligrams of sodium. I have the full nutritional information on the screen and in the description below. To nab one of these before the big holiday, Burger King will jack you up for $7.99, or you can make it a medium combo for $12.29 before taxes in Georgia. And much to my shock and amazement, Burger King has serving weights in their nutritional information. Each one of these burgers are supposed to weigh in at 331 grams or 11.67 ounces. If you do a little bit of fuzzy cat math, you come up with a preliminary, and I do stress preliminary, not an unreasonable, for these days anyway, 68 cents an ounce. Can Burger King get this out of the window in a timely manner and at a decent temperature? Can they get within 10% of the weights that it's supposed to be? Well, the moment of truth is here when we roll the drive-thru at Burger King in Cartersville, Georgia. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. Crazy.
Thank you for choosing Burger King, Georgia.
Could I get 4, excuse me, can I get 4 Jack-O-Lantern Whoppers?
Okay, 4 Jack-O-Lantern Whoppers.
Yeah.
The Whopper by itself?
Yeah, that's all I want.
Okay, I'll see you at that second window. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're in the Burger King penalty box. I hope that means they're going to pass the Joe is Hungry temperature test. I've got my Jack-O-Lantern burgers. Let's get out of the penalty box and do the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Jack-O-Lantern number 1 is 140.0 degrees Fahrenheit. Jack-O-Lantern number 2 is 138.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Jack-O-Lantern number 3 is 134.4 degrees Fahrenheit. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I like my temperatures at 140 degrees or above. Hotter is always better. Burger King never really gets them very hot, and they are mixing hot and cold ingredients. I'm gonna let them slip by this time on the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Now it's time to peel back the layers, get in the holiday spirit, count every single piece of bacon, head back to the studios, and do the Joe is Hungry weight test. Well, Burger King, I let you slip by on this last temperature test. You just barely made it. Don't expect that again. However, we need to know if you can make these things the same size. Can you live up to your own weight standards? Where there's only one way to find out when we take off for this packaging. In other words, set the tare on the scales. Jack-o'-lantern number 1 is 10.72 ounces or 304 grams. Jack-o'-lantern number 2 is 11.05 ounces or 314 grams. Jack-o'-lantern Whopper number 3 weighs in at 10.52 ounces or 298 grams. Well, the difference between the heaviest and the lightest is actually less than 10% of the average weight of all three. So today, Burger King, you pass the Joe is Hungry consistency weight test. Well, Burger King, you're actually almost a whole ounce on average below your own weight. However, you are just barely within 10%. So I can't give you a fail on the Joe is Hungry weight test, which leads us on to the next thing, and that is to add them all up, average them out, do the math, and you bring the price up to 74 cents an ounce, which leads us on to the next test, the one and only, the Joe is Hungry big reveal. This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like when you get out of the drive-thru window, and this is what they'd have you believe it looks like. Well, we've seen what it looks like, and we saw how much it was. Even with the price increase from a little bit lower weight, it's still not totally out of line, although paying $8 for a burger at Burger King seems a little high to me. As far as what it looks like, it's kind of a flattened down, anemic version of its photo. And if you were curious about the bacon, I have post-autopsy photos right up here on the screen. And this time they gave me 3 1/2 slices of bacon, which is about standard. They don't say anywhere how much it is, so I really can't go on about that. So now it's time for the next test, the one and only, the Joe is Hungry bite test. So it is bite test, engage. The bread appears to be fresh, although it crushes easily. It's kind of doughy and a little bit chewy and really doesn't have any distinct flavor of its own. The garnishes were cool, crispy, and seemed fresh. The meat, it was well cooked, but lacked that fresh out of the fire flavor that seems to be typical for a Burger King. When I bite into the bacon, it is definitely savory, but to me, really not very crispy. And the cheese, there seems to be plenty of it, but I really can't taste it. They'd have been better off just leaving it off. With that being said, let's see if Shadow Joe has anything useful to add and do the Joe is Hungry Sneak-a-Doodle Bite. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 1. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 2. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 3. I would have liked to seen this thing a whole lot hotter than this. The condiments, they are fairly fresh. Got a big crush factor going on here. Let's go ahead and give this thing a score. If you don't know my scale is 1 to 10, 9 being the best. Anything above 9 is a once in a lifetime experience and almost never achieved. 5 and down is that slippery slope to the pits and depths of fast food hell. So let's go ahead and give this the number that it truly deserves. Burger King, to me, in my opinion, this is nothing more than a cheese and bacon Whopper with some orange doughy kind of chewy bread that was barely warm enough to pass muster. So today, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go 5.2. That is my number. This is my review, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.